All right, welcome to our explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating book by David McRaney called You Are Not So Smart. And we're going to uncover some of the invisible cognitive biases that will secretly shape our entire reality. So let's just start with the book's most challenging idea, which is this. Your mind is constantly tricking you. And the only reason you think you're in control is because it is just so good at its job. So, what is this huge deception that's going on? Well, it's the idea that our brain is out there acting like a scientist, searching for truth, when in reality, it's a lot more like a lawyer. Think about it. A scientist is supposed to search for the truth, wherever it leads. But a lawyer's only job is to defend their client. And your brain's client is you. Its number one tactic is something called confirmation bias. What this really means is that you're not actually looking for facts. You're looking for proof that you were right all along. Okay, let me break this down for you. Let's say you believe that waking up early is the key to success. You'll go online and you'll search for things that prove it, while completely ignoring all the evidence about successful people who wake up late. And here's the most important part. This isn't some glitch. This is your brain's default mode. All right, next up, we're going to see how this one bias kind of snowballs. It can actually distort your entire perception of reality, and it's all based on one simple thing: what's easy for your brain to remember. So let me ask you, what do you think is more dangerous, a plane crash or a car accident? Almost everyone immediately says plane crashes. But why? The statistics tell a very different story. And what's so interesting here is how it breaks down our perception. Plane crashes are these vivid, dramatic, emotional stories. They get tons of media attention and they stick in our memory like glue. This is what's known as the availability heuristic. Because you can so easily remember a story about a plane crash, your brain just assumes it's a much more common threat, even though, statistically, car accidents are literally thousands of times more likely. Now, that inner lawyer we talked about, it doesn't just defend our view of the world. It's also excellent at defending our own ego. And this leads to one of the absolute strangest findings in all of psychology. To put it simply, the people who are the worst at something often think they're the best. They think they're experts. And the reason for this is just fascinating. If you don't have the skill to do something well, you also don't have the skill to see your own mistakes. You are literally unable to recognize your own incompetence. This example illustrates it perfectly. A novice singer can't even hear their own bad notes. They're just belting it out, thinking they're a genius. Meanwhile, a professional is agonizing over every tiny imperfection. Turns out, true knowledge often leads to humility. So our lawyer brain, it loves a good story, right? Especially a success story. But here's the problem. By focusing only on the winners, we get a dangerously skewed picture of reality. You know the ones. We read these inspiring stories about people like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, and we think, hey, if they can drop out of college and do it, so can I. But we are missing almost the entire picture. You see, we see the one person who succeeded, but we completely ignore the thousands, maybe millions of others who also dropped out, started a business in their garage, and failed. Their stories are just never told. This is called survivorship bias. We end up making huge life decisions based on this tiny, successful fraction of the data, and it makes success look way easier and a whole lot less risky than it actually is. Okay, so if our minds are just riddled with all these biases, what's the takeaway? Are we supposed to just feel foolish? No, that's not the point of the book at all. See, these mental shortcuts evolved over millions of years. They were designed to help us make lightning-fast decisions and survive. It's just that in the modern world, sometimes they can lead us astray. And that brings us to the most important point of all this. True intelligence isn't about somehow eliminating your biases. That's literally impossible. It's about knowing they exist. It's like finally getting the instruction manual for your own brain. Because that awareness, that ability to step back and question your own arguments, that is the beginning of true wisdom. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.